Hey, little champs. Welcome to Peaceful Whisper. Gather around, little ones. Snuggle under your cozy blankets, and let me tell you a magical story about a very special Christmas night. Are you ready? Let's begin. Once upon a time, in a house filled with the sparkle of Christmas lights and the warmth of gingerbread cookies baking in the oven, a little girl named Clara was gazing at her Christmas tree. Oh, it was a sight to behold. The ornaments twinkled, the lights glimmered, and the pile of presents underneath made her eyes light up with excitement. Finally, the moment arrived when Clara could open her gifts. One by one, she unwrapped them, laughing with joy at each surprise. There were paints, a beautiful storybook, and a knitted scarf to keep her warm. But the last present, oh, it was the most wonderful of all, a wooden nutcracker dressed like a brave soldier. His red jacket gleamed, and his tall black hat made him look so regal. "Thank you, Mama and Papa," Clara exclaimed, hugging the nutcracker tightly. Her mother smiled. "Take good care of him, Clara. Nutcrackers are very special." Clara's heart swelled with love for her new friend. She imagined him leading an army of toy soldiers, protecting the Christmas tree. But as she looked closer, her face fell. Oh no. One of his arms was loose, hanging by a tiny thread of glue. "He's broken," Clara whispered, her eyes filling with worry. "Don't worry, sweetheart," her father said, kneeling beside her. "I'll fix him for you tomorrow." But Clara couldn't wait until tomorrow. That night, after everyone had gone to bed, she tiptoed downstairs, carrying her nutcracker. She laid him gently on the dining table and searched through the drawers for something to fix him. Tape? Glue? Anything. But no matter how carefully she worked, his arm wouldn't stay in place. As she sighed, feeling a little defeated, she noticed something glinting at the base of the nutcracker. It was a tiny, golden key, so small it looked like it belonged to a dollhouse. "What's this?" Clara wondered aloud, turning the nutcracker over. To her surprise, she found a keyhole hidden in his back, cleverly disguised beneath his painted jacket. Well, who could resist a mystery like that? Clara gently turned the key, and suddenly, oh, you won't believe this. The nutcracker's eyes began to glow, and a soft, melodic voice filled the room. "Thank you for unlocking my secret," the nutcracker said, bowing stiffly. "My name is Captain Theodore, and I am at your service." Clara's jaw dropped. "You can talk?" she stammered. The nutcracker nodded. "I am no ordinary nutcracker. I was once the prince of a magical kingdom, a land of sweets and dreams. But the wicked Mouse King cast a spell on me, trapping me in this wooden form. My people are suffering, Clara, and only someone with a kind heart and brave spirit can help break the curse." "The Mouse King?" Clara asked, her voice trembling. "What do we have to do?" Theodore's expression turned serious. "We must retrieve the Star of Courage from the Mouse King's lair. It's the only way to free my kingdom." Now, Clara wasn't sure she was brave enough for such a dangerous quest, but when she looked into Theodore's hopeful eyes, she felt a spark of determination. "I'll help you," she said firmly. Theodore waved his tiny hand, and a swirl of sparkling magic surrounded Clara. She felt herself shrinking until she was no taller than the nutcracker. The living room transformed into a towering forest, with the Christmas tree now a massive canopy of green above them. "Follow me," Theodore said, leading her through the forest. They passed through a candy cane gate and into a shimmering field of sugar crystals. It was beautiful, but as they ventured deeper, the air grew colder and darker. Suddenly, a shadow darted across their path. Clara clutched Theodore's arm. "What was that?" she whispered. "Mouse King's spies," Theodore said grimly. "Stay close." They crept onward until they reached the entrance to a dark cavern. "This is it," Theodore said. "The Star of Courage is inside. But beware, the Mouse King will do everything he can to stop us." Clara's heart pounded as they stepped into the cavern. The walls glittered with jagged crystals, reflecting eerie shadows. And in the center of the chamber, sitting on a pedestal, was the Star of Courage. Its golden light filled the room with warmth and hope. "We found it," Clara whispered, stepping forward. But before she could reach the star, a booming voice echoed through the cavern. "Who dares enter my domain?" Out of the shadows stepped the Mouse King, his dark fur sleek and his eyes blazing. He towered over Clara and Theodore, holding a wicked staff adorned with sharp spikes. "You?" the Mouse King sneered, looking at Theodore. A broken Nutcracker and a little girl? You're no match for me. Theodore stepped in front of Clara, raising his tiny sword. We've come to take back the Star of Courage and end your reign of terror, Mouse King. The Mouse King laughed, a terrible echoing sound. Foolish! Prepare to meet your doom. Clara felt fear creeping into her heart, but she remembered Theodore's words, kindness and bravery. Taking a deep breath, she stood tall. You can't scare us, she said, her voice steady. Your power is nothing compared to the strength of courage and kindness. The Mouse King roared and lunged at them. Theodore blocked the attack with his sword, but the Mouse King was so strong. Thinking quickly, Clara grabbed a handful of sugar crystals from her pocket and flung them at the Mouse King's face. The crystals exploded in a burst of dazzling light, blinding him. Now, Theodore! Clara shouted. Theodore leapt onto the pedestal and grabbed the Star of Courage. Its light grew brighter and brighter, filling the cavern with golden warmth. The Mouse King let out a final shriek as the light dissolved him into nothingness. Clara and Theodore stood in the peaceful glow of the star, catching their breath. You did it, Clara, Theodore said, smiling. Your courage saved us all. Clara smiled back. We did it together. Theodore placed the star into his chest, and a wave of magic rippled through the air. His wooden body transformed, and he became a handsome prince, his kind eyes twinkling with gratitude. The curse is broken, he said. Thank you, Clara. You've restored hope to my kingdom. With another wave of his hand, Theodore brought them back to Clara's living room. Everything was just as it had been, except the Nutcracker now stood proudly on the mantel, his arm perfectly intact. The next morning, Clara's parents found her asleep on the couch, the Nutcracker cradled in her arms. They smiled, thinking she had simply fallen asleep admiring her gift. But Clara knew the truth. She had unlocked the Nutcracker's secret and discovered that courage and kindness can overcome anything. And so, every Christmas after that, Clara placed the Nutcracker at the center of their holiday decorations, a reminder of the magical adventure they had shared and the lesson they had learned, that bravery and compassion are the greatest gifts of all. Thanks for watching, champs. Just don't forget to like and subscribe.